Hey, welcome back to Tom at Sales Made Easy. This is Sales Made Easy. This is a podcast or video cast where my job is to make your life a little bit easier in sales or sales management, or even if you own a company and are scratching your head going, what do I do with my salespeople? So today we're going to talk a little bit about something, and we're going to talk about a holiday weekend. A couple things, and it's a kind of a, what do you call it, an oxymoron, that I believe sales is not a 9-to-5 job, but I truly believe every salesperson should be taking weekends off or time off. And too often on a Memorial Day weekend like this, we might take Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. Monday's off because no one's working. Friday's off because maybe a lot of my customers are taking Friday off for a long weekend. But what I don't want you to get is burnout. And how do we get burnout? You know, it's a lot like we were talking last week about sales purgatory, where I'm in purgatory because I've got accounts that are stuck in the middle of my funnel. They're not out of my funnel and they're not moving. So they're kind of in purgatory. And it's the same thing here is, what do we do to make sure I have a great holiday weekend? Because too often I see salespeople that maybe take the holiday weekend, but you know what they're doing Saturday when they should be at their kid's soccer game? They're worried about their business. They're maybe trying to figure out what they should do about accounts. Maybe they're working on it. Maybe they're at the kid's soccer game, but their head and their brain is going, oh, woe is me. What am I going to do for get business? Oh, what if that account doesn't close? The reason I know this to be true is because I lived that life so many years where I get burnt out, and I had terrible weekends. So the only thing I was able to do to solve it was to fill my funnel up. I mean, think about it this way. Who's going to have a better weekend? If I had two funnels here, this person that maybe he's only got 3 accounts in there. By the way, why do they only have 3 accounts in their sales funnel? Maybe they're lazy. They're not prospecting. They're not doing what they should be doing. But this person here, who is so busy, extremely busy, because I got all this stuff working in their funnel and they're working hard. They're busy. But guess what? They get to have a great holiday weekend because when they get back, they're not worried about this one guy going, hey, we're going with the cheapest price. They don't like it when it happens, but they have all this business here. They got a lot in the funnel. So if someone goes away, they're not worried about it. They got another one to take their place. So I think one of the biggest things, at least myself as a young salesperson, I had plenty of burnout. I had Saturdays and Sundays when I was at my kids' game, and I don't remember being there because my head was definitely somewhere else. Or I was talking to somebody and I was worried the whole time. So what I don't want you to get is burnout. And the only way not to get burnout is prospect. And it's funny, I was talking to a group the other day, and I think we get this trapped in our head. We get, I don't have anything to funnel, so I got to prospect. And we'll take all day today, all day tomorrow, and we'll do prospect. And we'll bust our butt doing the thing most of us hate doing, which is cold calling. I mean, face it, mom told you don't talk to strangers, and you have this stupid job, you're supposed to talk to strangers. So I want you to think about, if you're taking the time when this funnel gets empty and all you're doing is prospecting, you're going to get extremely mad and extremely frustrated. So depending where you're at in your career, I don't care if you're the top salesperson at the company, you need to do a consistent prospecting agenda on a weekly basis. So even if that means just take 1 hour a week where you're going to focus on prospecting. I don't care what the hell you do in that 1 hour. I don't care if that 1 hour is strictly doing research on LinkedIn about company, but you got to do something that has some activity to generate new business. 1 hour a week, make it easy on yourself. And that way, every week, at the end of the week, you can feel good because you spent some time doing something. Now in that hour, I would be doing a lot of things. I would be prospecting, building relationships. I might be sending out mail. I might be doing videos. I might be sending out emails. I might be phone calling people. But there's things I'm going to do. And one of the things we do is I would recommend is a cookbook, which I call it a cookbook because if you look at a cookbook, you open up a cookbook and there's a picture on the top of the page. That's your goal. And the ingredients, the recipe, if you mix it this way, that goal happens. So what's your recipe for getting a new customer and doing that on a weekly basis? So I would start playing with that. 1 hour every week doing some prospecting activity, something, whether it's going after new customers or old customers or whatever. Create a care cookbook, K-A-R-E. So care, K, not C, K, stands for accounts I want to keep. So what activities do you do once a week to make sure the accounts you love stay with you? If you're the type of business where the only time you're talking to your accounts is when they have a problem, you're going to lose them. So how proactive are you where you're just calling people and saying, hey, just thought I'd pop in, say hi, how are you? Check how things are going. So what activities are you doing on a weekly basis to make sure the accounts you want you keep? A stands for accounts you want to attain. We always are going after accounts we want to attain. That's part of our prospecting agenda. R are accounts I want to recapture. There are people in your territory that used to do business with you that don't do business with you. And too often, I know as a young salesperson myself, I forgot about them. Well, or I scared to call them because they didn't like me. They weren't happy with me. It's amazing how many times I found out, oh, that guy, he doesn't work here anymore. The guy that hated me is gone. So how often, what activities are you doing to recapture accounts? And then E stands for accounts I want to expand. The accounts in your territory you'd like to continue to expand. What are those accounts? So I want you to spend at least 1 hour a week. If you're a brand new salesperson, you're probably going to spend 5 hours a day. If you're a brand new territory, brand new salesperson, you got to spend a lot of time. But depending where you're at, be consistent. 1 hour a week, 1 hour a day, half hour a day, whatever it is, get consistent and spend the time with your customer and prospects. All right. So I want you from now on to have a great holiday weekend. And the only way to do that is put this process in place. Make sure your funnel is full so that you can enjoy your family. All right, gang, we'll see you next time. This is Tom at Sales Made Easy. If you missed my briefing, how to bust through tariffs, we'll have another one coming up shortly. I also have a Sales Bootcamp coming up in August. So email me if you want any information. Tom at salesmadeeasy.com. Make your sales easy. See you next time.